This segment will show you how to assemble the snow thrower. First, place the lift handle part 2 into the lift bracket on the right side of the snow thrower. Please note, for easier assembly of the lift release cable, tilt the snow thrower forward onto the spiral auger. Fasten the handle to the bracket using two 5/16 inch by 1 3/4 inch hex bolts, part D, and 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part HH. Now, be sure the lift release cable's plastic covering stays inserted into the trigger assembly for the next step. Push the lift handle down into the locked position. Then insert the end of the cable wire into the hole in the lift rod. Place the threaded fitting into the slot in the lift bracket so that one hex nut is above and one hex nut and one lock washer are below the slot. Tighten the nuts, adjusting them to eliminate the slack in the cable wire. Now, for more information, please refer to the Service and Adjustment section of your owner's manual. Now, tilt the snow thrower back down. Remove the nylon tie which fastens the auger drive belt to the discharge housing, leaving the belt assembled around the pulleys. Also, remove the nylon tie which fastens the chute crank rod part 3 to the crank rod support tube, part 4. Next, assemble the crank rod support tube to the bracket on the left side of the discharge housing. Fasten it in place using two 5/16 inch by 1 1/4 inch carriage bolts, part N, and 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part HH. Next, attach the chute tilt control assembly, part 8, to the top side of the crank support tube. Fasten it using two 5/16 inch by 1 3/4 inch carriage bolts, part M, bowed washers, part AA, and 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part HH. Next, attach the chute crank rod assembly brackets to the plastic bracket on the left side of the discharge housing. Align the chute crank bracket beneath the rod support bracket and assemble both to the plastic bracket using two 5/16 inch by 1 inch carriage bolts, part O, 5/16 inch washers, part V, and 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part HH. But do not fully tighten the bolts just yet.